Okay, well, let's start with. Well, if they want to bust out, I'll do my best. So here's the clues I've put together with the knowledge of those clues because of what has happened. Okay, well, let's start with the fact of Terminator Judgment Day. And why does Donald John Trump have a second presidency term that was broken up into 4 and 4, just like his first name, Donald? And then, of course, Joe Biden was in the middle of there, who was the vice president of Obama. Okay, well, if you take that year, that President Donald John Trump was the former President Donald John Trump in 2017. And then you had 4 years, which is 2021. And then you had 4 years, and that's 2025. And then you add 4 years. That will be 2029. And that is, in movie trivia, the year of the future war in the movie Terminator. Where, again, that they mentioned the date of 2029 in Terminator Judgment Day, which was the second Terminator. Okay, so let's start there. Okay, now let's move on to Joe Biden and Trump. Okay, well, let's just go with the whole thing has to do with illegal judicial items. Because this whole fucking thing is jive.
Neighborhood puns.
Inside jobs and everything else. But they're going to stand for tyranny, rape, murder business. Okay? And that's going to be boogeyman tricks.
Beginning to end, Alpha
Okay, in a
Omega.
room con of rape and murder in the boogeyman. So, but mainly the illegal gavel, IG.
Neighborhood puns.
Okay, so that's gonna. It looks like it says tyranny, boogeyman, and then when they slam it down, rape. So tyranny, rape, boogeyman. There's the whole thing with Trump and Biden. Okay, now let's go to the fact that of the soundboard, and that's the judicial item of which they struck the gavel onto, called the soundboard. Now they said broken scales with that. Okay, because they have the whole thing with the judge and then the Liberty lady, and she's got the balance scales because they're going to do a fair judgment. But if the evidence adds up on one side, it's tilted and you are guilty. Okay, and that's what it represents. That's what the strike of the gavel represents. It's outweighed to that side, or if it's outweighed to the other, it's struck there. On the, it's more to this side. That's what it stands for in the government, in the judicial. Okay, but they said that they want the dead judicial with Donald John. Okay, so they said one time you're out. Okay, and then broken scales. Instead, which goes against, and then that's where they go into the tyranny, and then setting up.
What happened to constitutional rights?
Boogeyman, tyranny,
legislative
rape,
law.
murder business. Hey, okay, that isn't what it is, but that's what they said it is.
Sedition, treason,
like
and
the same
entrapment.
thing as the computers that they use for the court system in Jefferson County,
ST
downtown at the
Stars.
courthouse, are all Dell computers. Okay, and they need those
Militia
computers
entrapment.
because they
Second
look stuff
Amendment.
up, they get the case information, they can look up stuff during the court case on there, and it's very useful to them having the computer, and then, yeah, like that. Even though they got the people with all the records and everything there, it's still helpful for them to have a computer because they use it. And instead, the dead judicial of tyranny, and Donald John Trump and the boogeyman of Joe Biden would say, oh no, that's to let you know we're going to do organized crime of hell on you. And obviously the boogeyman's from hell. And they try to tie the two together. So it's insane. It's insane. It's not what it is, and then they come back and say, no, that's what it is. It's like they're conning judicial in Jefferson County. End of fucking story.